Hello everyone, please, this is a new topic for us and it's new to most of us, called pivot tables. What does it mean and what is it used for? Pivot table is still under data aggregation and descriptive statistics. So before we jump into what pivot table is, let's quickly read something here, right, to enhance our understanding. So quickly, this is saying that a pivot table is a powerful tool to calculate, summarize, and analyze data that let you see comparison pattern trends in your data, right? So what they're saying that the pivot table is used to summarize. So we are looking at summary over here. We are looking at analyzing over here. We are looking at calculating over here. So after you calculate, you summarize, and you analyze your data, what do? You can easily find your pattern and trend in your data set, right? When we come here to this, is also saying that a pivot table is an interactive way to quickly summarize large amount of data. So everything here is about summarizing your data, and you can use this pivot table to analyze numerical data in detail, answer unanticipated questions about your data, right? So what we are going to do now is to look practically into what pivot table is under data aggregation and descriptive statistics, right? So let's come here, boom. So we are going to use this live data set on COVID-19 distribution patient on life support in 2020, last quarter of the year, so from October to December 2020. Now, before we can create a pivot table or summarize our data using or aggregate our data using pivot table, we have to look at three things over here. One is row, two, value or values, and three is column. What do we use the row for? We use the row to list items that are qualitative, categorical, right, or string variables that we are now coming to aggregate, summarize our data against. So your column, your rows will provide the categorical data over here, and whatever you want to assign against your row over here will be your values here. That's your quantitative variables, either continuous or descriptive. So in all, we are talking about quantitative variable, numerical data or numerical values over here. So the column, we use the column to do what we call subcategories, but we would eat into this later. So now we are going to only focus on rows and values over here. So practically, how do we calculate this or analyze this data using a pivot table without finding our mean, our mode, our median, or without using our central tendency and measures of spread, but other way around, using pivot table? To do, one, come to insert. I said insert. So when you come to insert, come and pick something called pivot table over here. Click on it. Come to insert, pivot table. Now you can use this existing sheet. So this existing sheet will come here. But no, we want our pivot table to come here also, right? So it will be within the work Excel book we are using. So click on create. So now we can rename this pivot table as class practical session over here. However you want to name practical session pivot table, right? So let me use pivot table. Now it will automatically generate this blank space for you to summarize your data in. So now this is giving us the row indication and the values indication. I told you the column indication is used to do subcategory, right? And that one will be our next lesson. So quickly, now come and pick your row where you want to assign your values to. So we want to assign our values against our month. So our month now becomes our categorical data, qualitative data. Come to values where we want to aggregate our data to. So quickly, let's come and look at our questions here. You can set your own question. Spreadsheet by Intelligence can also give you a suggested questions. So the first question is saying, how many patients require supplementary oxygen per month. Now per gender here is going to be our subcategory, right? So we'll leave this one. How many patients require ventilatory support per month? We are going to use this as our value or values. And how many new COVID-19 cases were recorded per month? So to practically do this, now just come and pick your values over here. So we are looking at supplementary support for oxygen. First, we are looking at ventilatory support, and no, we are not using this. We are coming to the values again. Now we are looking at our new COVID-19 cases. So now, in summary, we have our month, and in every month, what was the supplementary oxygen required? In every month, what was the ventilatory support that was provided? In every month, what was the total number of COVID-19 cases that was being recorded? So after you are done with this, come and look at what you are summarizing by. Make sure you summarize by sum, because you are aggregating your data. Maybe by default your laptop is as weak as mine that didn't give you this. So you can see that the ventilatory support is giving you count. We are not counting. We are summing them up to know the total number of support provided within each month. That's the last quarter of 2022. So in summary, please, over here they show us, if you want to leave your values in percentage, right, then you can use this. But I advise you, when you are working with values like this, leave your values as it is by default. But over here, always know what you are summarizing by. Here we are using our sum function. So over here we can quickly see that in December there was 3,862 supplementary COVID-19 being provided in Kenya. November there was 4,558. So if you are to analyze, then you can say in October there was this, in November there was this, and December there was this. So if you are to find a trend, right, so you can look at the changes that has gone on over here. Your support over here, the same thing, and the total number of COVID-19 cases over here too, the same thing. So we have the grand total over here for you to analyze, right? So this is pivot table. Pivot table is just a table that aggregates your data, summarize your data to help you find trend patterns in your data as quickly as possible. Thank you.